hope you are well. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about dealing with difficult people. We all know that we have to, at some point in our life, deal with difficult people. I want to share with you in this video 3 really simple ways to deal with difficult people, 3 ways that I deal with difficult people. And I believe that if you feel that you're not always your optimal best, if you feel that sometimes you struggle with difficult people, you find them challenging, you just want to abolish difficult people, I'm going to share with you 3 ways that not only can you deal with them, but actually they can serve you and actually help you. Yes, in this video I'm going to share with you a way that difficult people can actually serve and help you and not be seen as a hindrance. So first I want to kind of share with you a story. As you know, being a coach, one of the things that I'm most proud of is my self-education. You know, I left school with barely a GCSE to my name. Really didn't apply myself well at school. Sometime about the age of 19, 20, I fell in love with the world of personal development. Anything I could get my hands on around psychology, marketing, sales, public speaking, you name it, I became obsessed. And it really taught me some valuable things. It really taught me some amazing things about how people are, why people do what they do, how to communicate more effectively. And I wouldn't stand before you, wouldn't be able to communicate with this way that I am without any notes or anything like that, had it not been for that particular part of me. But I'm always really honest and transparent. I always say that my greatest teachers in life were not the Tony Robbinses and the Oprahs and the Brendan Burchards. They were not my best teachers. My best teachers were difficult people. My best teachers, I say full transparency, that my best teachers were my ex-girlfriends. And here's why. Because every one of those relationships taught me how not to behave the next time. Every one of those relationships taught me where I had lowered my standards. Every one of those relationships taught me where I was communicating in a way that was not authentic, that was misaligned with my values, that was rude. Some of those relationships, I was not a nice person. I'm not proud of the behavior that I projected in some of those relationships, especially the early years of me dating. But every single relationship that I went through, I grew and became a better person. Every single one of those so-called failures, I became a better person. So for me, the key thing to know about difficult people is sometimes they're the best teachers we can ever possibly have. In fact, I would go as far as saying, I would say that those people weren't even difficult. I was the one that was difficult. I was the one that made the situation difficult. I'm a big believer in the best way for you to truly grow and lead the life that you truly want to lead is to take full responsibility for everything that happens to you. I was the one that made the decision to enter those relationships. It was my decision, right? Yeah, it was 2 people, but I was one half of that commitment to make that relationship be joined in unholy non-matrimony. Don't know where I'm going. The point is, I believe that difficult people can be our greatest life teachers. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways that I think are really simple to help you deal with difficult people. So the first one is what I call meaning modality. So what I mean by meaning modality is just like what I've just said. Like, most people see difficult people as their life would be better if there was just no difficult people whatsoever. I hear people say all the time, oh, Miles, you know, if that person just wasn't in my life anymore, my life would be easier. You know, if my family just understood me better, you know, my whole life would be magically transformed. And I say, how about we look at the meaning modality that you're giving this situation? How about we see this as a gift rather than a curse? how about we see that this particular relationship, this ex-relationship, this negative person that you apparently has done you wrong, how about that actually they're a life lesson, they're a life teacher, and that if you choose to look at it with the appropriate meaning, this could be of value for you moving forward. So the first thing you need to do is change the meaning that you associate to the difficult person in question. The next one, which is my personal favorite, is what I call a wall reflection. And what a wall reflection effectively is it's saying that when there are difficulties between two people, you've heard the phrase, it takes two to tango, right? What that effectively means is you can't have a conflict with a wall. So take exhibit A behind me. I can't physically have an argument with this wall. So you've ever heard, or maybe you've said it yourself, right? It was their fault, they caused it, you said this, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't have done this. Well, let's be honest about it, right? Anytime there is conflict between two people, there has to be two people creating the conflict. Because if there's one person in this room and I'm annoyed, I can't physically cause conflict with the wall because the wall can't talk back to me. So the point of a wall reflection is just to get you to think, well, hang on a minute. If I can't have an argument with a wall, then maybe I need to take more responsibility. And instead of saying they don't understand me, they don't get me, how about you have not recognized the fact that you have caused part of that situation as well? Right, so a wall reflection. It's silly, but it's designed to make you realize you can't have conflict without two people. It's got to be with two people. And the last thing, really self-explanatory, this is what I call a shoe swap. And what this effectively means is put yourself in the other person's shoes. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Stephen Covey, author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, tells a beautiful story of being on a train on one of those tables. He's working on his laptop. There's a father there, a son there, and another son next to him. The journey's been about an hour and a half, and the kids are getting a little bit, to Stephen's mind, they get a little bit unruly. One of them spills Coke and it nearly goes on his laptop, so he moves the laptop. He's patient, but eventually he loses his patience. And he says to the father politely, could you ask your kids to just settle down a bit? I'm trying to work. To which the father pauses and said, I'm really sorry. We're actually, I've told them today to just be themselves. We're actually on our way back from their mother's funeral, and I frankly, I just don't know what to do today. And as you can imagine, Stephen feels terrible because he's totally misjudged the situation. That's what I mean by a shoe swap. Sometimes somebody cuts you up in traffic, somebody's rude to you. Sometimes what you've got to know is that the situation, their rudeness to you, is not actually directly related to you. It's some other event that happened in the last hour, yesterday, the day before, 26 years ago, that they haven't processed fully. So when you do a shoe swap and you think, okay, this person's been rude to me, I'm not saying that you should allow that rudeness in, but what I'm telling you is if somebody's rude to you or they treat you in a way that you wouldn't treat them, think, I wonder what must be going on in their life to make them be that way, and send them love. Because if you don't do that, you're just judging. And you know that when you judge other people, it doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't make you feel good. Last thing I want to say in this video is I want to challenge you. I want to set you a challenge. And I want you to direct message me when you do this. Somebody in your life I want you to think of who is a difficult person. Maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe an old colleague, maybe an ex-girlfriend or a boyfriend you haven't spoke to for a while. I want you to reach out to them. It doesn't have to be a phone call. I would recommend it's a phone call. Next level down is to send them a voice text, via WhatsApp or Messenger, and tell them that you're sorry. Send them a voice message. Tell them, look, I know we had this fallout and I'm not expecting us to be friends anymore, but I just wanted to tell you that on reflection, I realized that I played a big part in that. I'm sorry. And that's it. And just drop me a direct message, let me know that you've done that. Anyway, end of the show. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, hit like, hit share, tag people in it. This video is not for me, it's for everyone. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Miles more motivation. Over and out. See you next time. Goodbye.